Hey guys, long time no see. It is currently August 18th, 2021, and it has been a long time since I've sat down and filmed anything writing related. I have attempted to film videos on different things, but then those things just don't happen at all. No progress is made on those things, and then the video would just end with me saying, psych, that thing didn't really work out. So I just end up not doing anything with those. So I have a whole bunch of half-filmed videos, well, 10% filmed videos saved on my SD cards that aren't going to go anywhere. So I need to go through at some point and delete those. But this video is going to actually go somewhere. This one, I'm going to give you a general update on writing and life in general. And then hopefully after that I'll find some kind of balance with my work in progress videos that actually keeps you up to date on what I'm doing without putting the focus on my word count or how much progress I'm making every day or anything like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping track of how many words you're writing every day. I'm still doing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to share that with other people, whether it's for accountability or gratification or anything like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that. But for me personally, at this point in my life, I'm at a point where I wake up, I take care of the animals, and then I have maybe about 3 to 4 hours before my headache starts to set in, and then the headache gradually gets worse and worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And then within 2 to 3 hours after the headache's onset, I absolutely cannot handle sitting in front of the computer anymore, or my phone, or a TV, or anything like that, and I normally just sit on the couch and close my eyes because I can't handle it anymore. I have chronic headaches. I have them every single day. About the only time I don't have a headache is when I'm asleep. And that drastically affects my progress and what I can do every single day. And because of that, keeping track of my word count and keeping track of what I'm able to accomplish in a day just isn't healthy for me. It's not a healthy mindset for me. It's forcing myself to work more than my body is physically able to do anymore. And that's something I'm trying to pull away from. I'm chronically ill, and as much as I hate it, that's something that I have to accept. I have to accept the daily headaches and the daily fatigue and the exhaustion and the garbage sleep and the inability to stay asleep, and sometimes I have to accept the inability to get up off the couch for a couple hours after I wake up, and that's just how things are. And keeping track of my word count is still something I want to do, but I don't want to make the focus of my work in progress videos how many words I wrote every single day or how many words I wrote in any given book on any given day, if that makes sense. So once I'm done with this video, I'm going to try and find some sort of way to still film work in progress videos, to still film writing videos without making the focus my word count. It's just going to take me a while to figure out how to do that. So if you have any suggestions for writing videos you would like to see, or writing ideas you'd like me to try out for videos, let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, I have some notes written here on these things that I have done since the last time I filmed, or things that I think I've done since the last time that I remember filming. Some of these things are things you may have heard of if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram. I may have talked about some things in one of the very last videos I did, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to get into this, and we'll go from there. So I think the most important thing to hit on is the fact that right now I am in the process of changing the name that I use for my book stuff. Courtney Ellsbury is my real name. That is my birth name. And I started self-publishing when I was in middle school, I think. So I just went with that name. If you heard a scream in the background, that was Maggie. That one was as well. But that was the name that I used when I was self-publishing in middle school and in high school, and then after I graduated, when I turned over my new leaf with Ashes in the Light, Cut to the Kill, and Man of Darkness, I just continued using it because it's my name. But I do think that in the last couple of years especially, my disconnect with writing has in part been because of my name. For reasons that I don't want to get into in this video, I don't want my books and my work associated with my last name. So, instead, I'm working on changing the name that I use for my books. My pen name, I suppose. For my main stuff, my crime, probably zombie stuff, if I ever manage to finish one of those, for my supernatural, for my paranormal, all of that stuff is under C.B. Everett, and I'm in the process of changing Cut to the Kill, Letters from a Madman, Man of Darkness, and Ashes in the Light over to C.B. Everett. For my romance stuff, I write under the name Courtney E. Beckford. That's not because I'm embarrassed by the romance stuff or anything like that. It's set in the same universe as all of my other books. It is just because a lot of people who read romance only want to read romance. Nothing wrong with that. And so for those people specifically, having the romance separated means that they don't have to want a happy ending, but then also have to watch me release books about homicide and beatings and assault and ghosts killing people, and they can just have the romance. So that's the only reason that I'm separating them. And as time goes on, I might separate things further with other pen names, but I'm pretty much always going to keep the paranormal, supernatural, crime stuff under C.B. Everett and Courtney E. Beckford. For the romance stuff, about the only thing that might change is if I start writing in another universe at any point, that might be under a different name. I'm sorry about the snoring. It's Roxy. There. She's actually laying in a position that should make it so she can't snore, so I know she's awake, because she's doing it on purpose. But that's the first main thing that I've done, is I'm working on changing my name, and it's a very long process. I do have like 5 or 6 videos filmed on that process, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll upload them because they're I'm very, very tired, I'm very exhausted, and so pretty much anything that goes wrong does go wrong, and although I'm not like visibly pissed off in the video, it's exhausting to rewatch that footage and edit it, and I don't think it would be fun to watch either. So I do have that footage if you were to want to see it, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll be uploading it. But with that out of the way, let's get into some writing things. In no particular order, I have written down some stuff here. So this isn't like in the order that I started these things, it's just here. I think one of the very last things I did in regards to videos was that I decided Grim Reaper needs to be restarted again. This is like the 4th, 5th, 6th, I don't know, rewrite, but it is for the betterment of Grim Reaper, and this book is basically my white whale, so we're gonna keep doing it until it's done. I started and finished my first short story, Love Tends the Garden, so romance short story, outdoorsy type thing. I really enjoyed writing that one. I started a supernatural short story about a hunter, like a supernatural hunter, called Hunting in Bridgewater. I started it twice. The first time I started from the woman's point of view, and that didn't work, so I started from the male's point of view instead, and it just didn't end up going anywhere. I want to go back to it eventually, but I don't know if that will happen or if progress will be made on it. I also started a short story for Jensen's birthday, Jensen being one of the characters from the Bo Austin series. It's his very first birthday that we see in the Bo Austin series, and this would be a short story that would go alongside that story to expand on the scene that isn't seen in the book. I started a new crime novel Currently, it's called Searching for Who the Hell Knows, because I have no idea what to call it, so that is its work in progress title. I'm enjoying it, but right now we are at a bit of a standstill. The main character is currently named Atticus. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to stick. But he's a treasure hunter. He has discovered Forest Fenn's treasure, which in real life has been found by someone else. And he found the golden owl, which at this point is a treasure that is still hidden somewhere. Although we do know the location of the real golden owl, just not the one that you have to find to trade in for the owl. But he has found both of those treasures, and he would like his third major discovery to be the lost city of Z, but a knock on his front door interrupts his plans, and instead the book follows him as he tries to solve the riddles that a kidnapper continues to leave for a missing boy who, by the time this person contacts him, has already been missing for 4 days. So he presumably doesn't have long left to live before someone needs to find him. I also started and just finished, I think I just finished it yesterday or the day before, a short story about Luca, who is from the Jamal Pittman series. It's called Fighter 13, and it follows how Luca got into the mob, which took a while to write. I think it was over 2 months, maybe? About 4,000 words. But I really enjoyed seeing a very young Luca, and figuring out how he got into the mob. It helps me understand my characters more. I started a zombie short called Hey Ya Tom. If you get why it's called that, congratulations. If you don't, that's okay. I've started it 4 different times, I think, and not a single one of the beginnings really spoke to me. Not a single one of them stuck out as being a good beginning, and so I'm not 100% sure what to do with it. I want to continue trying to write it, but I don't know how that's going to go. I already have a cover made for it, a little work in progress cover. I'll try to remember to put that up on the screen, but I don't know how to get to the point that the cover represents. I don't know where to start in order to get there. I don't know if I should just start where the cover is. I don't know if I should start at the beginning of the apocalypse and then fast forward. I have no idea. So far, nothing I'm doing is working, so we'll see. I also started doing Twitter prompts for a story that at the moment is called Managing a Bucket List. Currently, I'm doing that on my romance account because I think it's going to be a romance. But it's something that I just kind of was feeling one day, and I wasn't really going to do anything with it, but I actually like the characters. At the time, when I first started it, it was kind of just like a little tiny venting process, and I've only done the shorts on Twitter. I haven't expanded any of them or anything like that, but it's called Managing a Bucket List because the guy is chronically ill. One of the guys is chronically ill, and he finds out that his kidneys are failing, and so his best friend finally is like, let's go tick off every single thing on your bucket list. And if you are like me and you have a chronic illness, then you're managing the illness, you're managing every day, and that's why it's managing a bucket list. But I actually might end up doing something with it. I'm not 100% sure. But I enjoy the few prompts that I've done for it, so we'll see. I also started a short story called Just a Quarter Angel, but that really didn't go anywhere. That one I started for a video inspired by the prompt word lemon, because the book opens in a bar and he orders a lemony drink. And that was how I tied it in with the inspiration. But it just didn't go anywhere. There was absolutely no chemistry between the characters. And normally when I don't know the characters, there isn't a ton of chemistry. But it was just very, very awkward. Like, abnormally awkward compared to usual. I also started a short story about Dallas Silver, who is from the Bo Austin series, or if you've been here for a super long time, from the Kathy Baker series, but we don't talk about that one. So, it's supposed to be a short story about the first time that Dallas killed someone, but there hasn't been a lot of progress made on it. It's been very, very slow, and I'm not that far into it whatsoever. But I'd still like to finish it at some point. And the last thing I'm going to hit on here in regards to writing is that I made a lot of progress in Truths and Chains and a lot of progress in A Christmas Cannibal. Those are really the only 2 books I have worked on. I've tried to force myself back into Hashtags and Homicides a couple times, but it hasn't gone anywhere. And I've tried to force myself into the Happy Face Killer again, but it hasn't gone anywhere whatsoever. And the last time I worked on A Christmas Cannibal, I wrote myself into a corner, and now I don't know what to do. So, my characters are stuck, I'm stuck, they don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, it's a mess. So, I'm working on it. I feel like everything that I've been writing this year and last year, I feel like all of them need to be wiped clean and started off on a new slate. But I don't know if I can bring myself to do that. I'm like really far into Truths and Chains. I would like to say that I'm around like 50 or 60,000 words. And that's a lot to wipe clean to start off fresh again. And although I would like keep the original draft, it's still a lot of words to sacrifice right now. And I kind of want to. It's something I'm avidly and actively thinking about, but I don't know if I have the gumption to do that. Writing has been very difficult for the last several years, and I have a very uncomfortable relationship with writing, and I have for quite some time. In the grand scheme of things, I still believe writing is a hobby and a passion, but I also believe that being on Wattpad for so long drastically affected my writing and my mental health. And I think that having my hard work tied to my last name has also had a very negative effect on my writing and how I view writing. And I know that everything has been very, very difficult since the Letters from a Madman rewrite, because I think that kind of, I don't want to say ruined, but it made writing crime very unenjoyable for me, because I'm very nervous about another rewrite from hell. So there's a lot of things that I want to work on and a lot of things that I need to work on in order to get back into writing and make things new and fresh and exciting again, but I think it's going to take a little bit to get there. But I think that's all that I have for this video. If you've stuck around this long, thank you for listening to me ramble and just talk about things. I feel very weird in front of a camera. I've recently just been filming animal videos, and even those have been relatively mild compared to how much I used to film them. But I'm working on getting back in front of the camera again. I'm working on getting back into writing, and I'm working on getting everything back to a place that I'm proud of the things that I am doing. I'm proud of Fighter 13. I'm proud of Love Tends the Garden. And I'm hoping that everything else that I start working on can follow that trend of being something I can be proud of again. But that's all that I have for this one. If you enjoyed this little update video, a like is always appreciated. And if you'd like to stay updated on my writing, my editing, the gaming videos, I'm hopefully going to get back to uploading roughly every Friday, or anything that I do on this channel in between, feel free to subscribe. All the links to my authors pages, my social media, my animal YouTube channel, my Ko-Fi, all of that stuff is in the description down below. And that's all I have. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, whenever that may be. Bye for now.